DJ Durong from Hot 702.5 in Las Vegas, it's time to come together. Rainbow Dreams Educational Foundation presents the 24th annual Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival going down Saturday, June 21st from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Expo at World Market Center, and it's free to the public. Catch R&B icon Tweed live on stage, plus performances by Kiss Kiss and the Squad, Darnell Alexander, Unk and the Nephews, and Las Vegas's pop princess Ray Millie. Hosted by DJ Ambeezy with Not a Boy DJ and DJ Kelly J on the ones and twos. Stop by and visit the Hot 702.5 FM live remote tent and check in with our on-air personalities. Shop the vendor marketplace, hit up the food trucks, and enjoy surprise guests throughout the night. Presented in partnership with Google, MGM Resorts International, Live You Equals You in the city of Las Vegas. Come together this Juneteenth weekend to celebrate freedom with Tweet and Rainbow Dreams. Get your e-ticket now and be entered to win one of our fabulous prizes. Visit June19LV.com. That's June19LV.com. DJ.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hello. It is Thursday. It is Thursday. I can't find what I'm looking for.
It is
What's going on?
Hey.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the hottest, sexiest station on the planet, 702.5. And this is where we believe that love is an essential healing medicine.
Yep.
And with that being said, I am your favorite love prescriber, Miss Love Doctor. And when there is love, there's always inner beauty. Y'all say what's good to my beautiful co-host.
Hey, my beauty on the beat supporters and listeners. What's up, y'all?
I know that's right, friend. You threw me off. I was like, what's up, supporters? What's up, y'all? All right. So, Let's Talk Love is where we focus on conversations that are heart relatable. So if you know somebody who has a heart like you, share this with them.
I hope everyone does have a heart.
I mean, especially if you need some of the layer of ice.
House tonight.
If you need some of that ice melted, you might want to tune in. Because some of us, you just little layer by layer. Ooh, I had a whole visual, baby. But yes, share this. Be sure to comment. Have a conversation with us, 702-551-5261. We would love to talk to you. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
And just come in and be respectful. Respect yourself.
Respect yourself.
All right. So before today's check-in, we have a special guest of love today.
Heck yeah.
And this boss chick needs no introduction.
Thank you.
Although she is the CEO of On the Fly Accessories. Y'all drop some hearts for Miss Marceline.
I'm excited to be in the video.
Okay.
I know you feel like, wait a minute. It's real
We done been in the
official.
living room in the Dominican Republic. We done been in the living room in St. Thomas.
It feels different
Okay.
inside, right?
Mhm.
It feels different
I
inside.
feel the love.
I should have had us
Yeah.
together, but we was, on vacation too.
Yes.
We together.
We together.
All right.
always.
So today's check-in, I was gonna bring in some cards, and I was like, man, we need to check our heart meters.
Okay.
Where we at? Where you at?
Well, you're our guest in our house. I always say go first, love.
My heart meter is on. I can say it's tipping toward 100.
Okay, tip it.
Okay.
Okay, tippity
I have
tip.
a lot of
Tip.
love around. I have a lot of great things going on. I have a lot of positive energy flowing. May is a special month for me. So I feel the love.
Okay. That's good.
What
That's
makes
good.
man a special month?
Yeah, I was gonna want.
Well,
If you
Your
want
mind
to
just
say.
ask.
not many know, but this is my 3-year anniversary
Okay.
of
It's
a
your
kidney transplant.
anniversary.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
So I celebrate life. That's what love is.
Mhm.
It's living this beautiful life.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
good. I never it. Wow,
That's beautiful.
That's a blessing.
I knew that.
I wouldn't
but-
even got to know Pumpkin.
No,
Won't
right?
he do it? Won't
yeah.
he do?
Yeah.
All the time.
A ball of sunshine, okay?
Yes.
Hustler
Yeah.
to a heart.
That's why you always got that good smile on your face.
Yes.
Cracking
I have
up.
a lot to be smiling for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we all need to be like that. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
was a message to us all. Okay.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
let me tell you. All right, friend, go ahead. Where your heart meet at?
Let's see. I mean, just for today though, because I had a little irritation in my life, just because of the day. But I really want to say that it's always going to be 100 because, like you said, we're not promised tomorrow, right? So I got to know that the people around me that I surround myself with wants the best for me, right? The people that I'm around, like I said, the people that I'm around want the best for me, and I want the best for myself. So I have to be able to put my love into myself to be able to pour out and do the things that I know that I was brought here to do. You feel me? So to me, that right there is I got to make sure that my cup stays full. So
I
I'm good.
feel like there is nothing for me to say. Thank y'all for the show.
No, sure.
Have a good day. Definitely counting, not even counting, just realizing and understanding, regardless of anything, you see where the level of abundance is showing out. You know what I mean? And I say that in a sense of like, you can think of every little thing that it could be going wrong, right? Maybe going wrong, but at the same time, it's so much stuff going right. You know, that you can be grateful for, that you can be thankful for. So my heart is full, like May is also a special month for me now. I mean, it always has been because that's my little baby brother birthday, which I shared with him. And, I graduated, from college, and it was rough. Like, it was like emotionally rough sometimes, where it was like, I was getting on myself, like, you should have did this and what shoulda, coulda, woulda, and okay, when you was 20 and remember this. And then it brought up trauma. It brought up trauma, I'm not gonna lie, but I still pushed through and we made it. And then my friend had made me this today.
Isn't that the cutest?
Look at this. It say, look at you graduating and shit. And it got a crown on it. She know what's up. And roses. It got a little
And it's
tassel.
purple. 2025.
Thank
You the part of
you.
the class of
So
2025.
creative.
My babies is part of class of
Utilize them.
2025.
Okay, because I shared
Right.
this year with all the kids.
You did.
I do. I said I got a picture I want us all to take with our cap too.
You do. You got a lot of parties to come to, bruh.
We gotta celebrate. Okay, I like this right here. I could see him. Okay, so we know where our heart meter is at. Where y'all heart meter at?
Yes.
How y'all feeling? Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Because sometimes you could be struggling with something and you feel you are alone, but you don't have to be alone. And I saw somebody's video the other day and I was like, I didn't even watch the video. I just seen it look like she was crying. I jumped right in her inbox like, hey, and she was like, no, it was just a video just kind of showing how like we got to push through, whatever. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't even listen to it.
Yeah. Aw. You was in
My
action.
sentiment stands the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, I do see how important that is, right? Okay, this is kind of cool to share with you. Like, yes. So, living in life, right?
Okay.
Y'all know I always talk about us having invisible black backpacks, especially us as women, and then us as black women, and then us as men, and then us as black men. We have these backpacks full of things that sometimes is heavier than bricks. Like, and you don't
Yeah.
even really realize like how
Yeah.
much it's weighing you down, you know what I'm saying? And it definitely has the ability to change the trajectory of your entire life. Right. And so most of the times we don't even know that we've been forced to move on with life with these smiles on our face. And soon as somebody asks you how you doing, you say, I'm all right. And you laughing and you giggling, you know what I'm saying? I just remembered when my boyfriend was murdered and we was sitting in the yard And you know, of course, like we just sitting there. So people are drinking and there's laughter, and I'm just looking around at everybody like, what the F is everybody laughing at? You know what I mean? But then like maybe a week or two later, I found myself laughing.
Okay.
But I was still guilty about laughing. Wow. Do you get what I'm saying? And so it definitely shows up in different places where and you're dating and you're having fun and you don't want to get attached to people and you know what I'm saying? And you're like, for sure this is not gonna go anywhere, so I'm not gonna let this person near to my heart anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I can't trust you. Yeah. I mean, you cool, but are you though? You know what I'm saying? So and then the crazy part is I'ma just say it. Okay. Y'all be busting nuts and people that you won't even spend the block for. Less known spend Christmas with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how much of this stuff is being done on purpose, or how much of this stuff is being led by things that we have went through? And how will we know if we don't take the time to do some reflection or some transparency of self?
Yeah. Do your own Rolex into the index, however you need to. Like, do your own checkup. Like, how are you showing up in
How you showing up?
Yeah.
So, a conversation that me and, well, I got to call you on here. Pumpkin.
Okay. Thank you. I'm like, right? Come on.
Forgetting, like, oh, Lord. Right. So we often get into, I feel like most people that I talk to, we get into very deep conversations. And we was on a roll the other day. Okay. And I was like, that's what we're talking about. Okay. So what we came up with is how much are people doing the healing work before they start doing the dating work? Right? So
probably
dating / loving through your trauma. Is it possible?
I think people marriage through trauma. Definitely fuck through trauma. Sorry. Have sex.
The first one
trauma. Sorry, y'all. Okay, but I think that we operate because I feel like it's kind of hard to just be in freeze mode when life is happening, right? Because they talk about the fight or flight or freeze, right? So I feel like most people aren't going to wait to relieve themselves. So they're going to act as if they're okay because they need that part taken care of. Right? Even though they know that that is a wound for them, and that's why they may talk to several people to fill that void, but it's really not the void of the person, the actual act. That's one thing that they can control. Right? And when other things that we can't control anymore, it's like that's the things that are trauma that we're trying to do other things to void those traumas. Right? Does that make sense?
I don't know.
Okay,
I get it. I do get it.
You get it?
Because I want to see where she at with it too.
Because that's doing through trauma.
Well, I think working through trauma causes for a self-reflection. Okay. My word and our word, our word for last week was, my word was accountability, right? So when we talk about trauma, we talk about what part did we play in our own trauma.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What repetitive things do we keep doing? So now we come upon dating, okay? So us as women, and especially us as women of color, tend to stick to what we know and what we are used to.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We will not typically step out of boundary.
Okay.
So when that, when I say boundary, that means our familiar.
Yeah, that we don't step out of familiar.
Right.
True.
But our familiar, guess what? Is our trauma. What we're used to and what we're familiar with and what we're comfortable with is our trauma. And we, I think, develop a sense of tolerance.
Hell yeah, tolerance.
Big
tolerance.
She came in here with the big word.
Yes, tolerance.
So, over time, it's like, you just keep bandaging the same old wound. It's like you see it coming. You know what's getting ready to happen.
Wow.
You see it, but you just going to put a Band-Aid on it like it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to bleed out.
Hey.
But here it go.
That is true, though. You're willing to give your body, but not your heart.
But not your heart. So now when we talk about coming into dating, okay, ain't nobody walking no perfect life. Okay, so yes, we are going to bring baggage, traumas, and other unresolved issues. Now, are we willing to accept each other for who we are? Okay, so people say, "Oh, I accept you for who you are." No. Do you accept? Do you know who I really am?
Ooh, baby.
Do I know who you really are?
Yes,
Right.
that's crazy. But it is true. That is
So
true. That is
the
true.
trauma now begins because guess
Yeah.
what? I barely know who I am, and you don't even know who you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, like legit, I feel like I saw this now. Like 18 years
Yes.
of saying yes and being committed to someone. Like legit, when you just said acceptance, when you just said like, hey, I didn't know who the heck I was. I didn't know what and I know the things that I needed from him. He didn't know who he was, right?
Right.
And we trauma bonded, right? To be able to say like, hey, we're trying to figure out whatever your things is. I mean, I definitely chose out of certain things, you know, that I was scared of, right? And it's like, hey, yeah, you know, once you start really finding like, okay, that is it, but I've also learned that I love these things. You feel me? Like, I think that that's the accepting part of like, okay, these are really, you don't know who the heck you laying with. You don't know who you having kids with. You don't know none of those things until life happens.
Yes.
Like having kids, how they show up, how they leave, right? That's the decision making. Those are all the other things that I see that we just go through in life, bro.
But I think these, you know, we call ourselves repetitive, effects, right? Because these are repetitive, again, traumas that we overlook because we feel like it's a normalcy,
Yeah.
because this is what we know.
There
This
we
is
go.
what we're
There we go.
used
Stay
to.
right there. Yeah.
So it's normal,
Yeah.
and it's like, and then as you grow, we're women sitting here in our 40s. Okay.
Yes.
So we done spent a couple blocks or two.
Y'all
So now,
y'all don't be having me outside with y'all.
okay, you the first. You invite us everywhere. No, I'm just, but as we start to experience life, right?
Yeah.
We start to develop things and we start to experience things that we don't like. We don't
Yeah.
like the way it feels. We don't like how it happened. We don't like where it happened. We don't like so right. But then we find ourselves seeing these places or doing these things again. It's
A
right.
pattern.
It's a pattern.
So let's see what trauma even means, right?
Okay.
So the definitions that I have is trauma in dating.
Okay.
So, because this is what we're defining. We're not defining trauma in marriage. We're not defining trauma in sex.
Yeah.
Or in a relationship. This is specifically dating.
Okay.
So, a deep, distressing, or disturbing experience, emotional shock followed by a stressful event or a physical injury, which may be associated with physical shock and something that leads to long-term neurosis. Neurosis? Sounds like it's something psychological, something in your in your neuro stuff up there. So, physical injury. And so then I thought about it like, I try not to go down a rabbit hole because once I got into trauma, it made me think, have we talked about trauma on the radio? Yes. Because, baby,
I
was going into, I had to stop. So there's the levels of trauma. So physical, emotional, and then there's acute emotional and chronic emotional.
We have not talked about trauma. I'm like going down my index of things like,
Right? It's all right. It's all right. Even if we did, it'll have a different approach because we
Yeah.
got a different mindset at this
Yeah.
There's
point.
different levels of trauma.
it is.
All right. So dating is to go out with someone whom is romantically or sexually interested.
Okay.
Take out, court, or go with. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
We go with each other.
That's my boo. We go together. Y'all go with each other.
Right. You go together. We go together.
All right.
we go
So
together.
of course, like dating after an experience of trauma is it's hell of a complexity of things, right? Like a plethora of things. So it can shape who you are, how you see the world, how you see other people, how you see relationships, how you show up. And it creates exactly what you said, a pattern of things, but also challenges within our life. You know what I'm saying? So I think what we need to discover first is what are the effects of trauma in hindsight, right?
Okay.
Like break that down, and then we can see what it's like in dating, because it shows up differently there.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
all right. So I'll say a couple of different effects. Y'all let me know where y'all at, if you've experienced it, what it felt like, because these are real things that, happen. So what about trust issues?
Girl.
There's some people that don't have trust issues, right?
I don't know who they are. In some shape or form, you're gonna have some type of. But I feel like, where my trauma will show up in dating is my abandonment issues. Right. So because my parents, I couldn't trust. You feel me? So if that's the closest person to you that was supposed to, that to me is like, how can I trust you to say you're gonna stay? You can leave. You have nothing to tie you to me. Kids, especially growing up, you see that they don't really stay around. The ones that what I saw, right? So to me, it was like, that's a trust. I don't trust a lot of people. I know how to trust myself and try to control what's around me, for sure.
Right.
I think that's where my trauma shows up, of like, okay, well, you can say that, but I still got to make sure I got it, just in case you ain't got it. Because I can't trust that.
Where you at, Fern?
I guess I'm at, entering dating. Okay. I'm going in with wanting to look at you as I don't know you. So you got a clean slate. Right. So this is how I want to perceive you. Now, as time goes on, it's something that is going to happen. Okay. Like you say, trust, miscommunication, something in that matter that's going to now say, it's going to open up that wound of trauma. This is why I don't do this. This is how this went before. This is how this is going to end up. This is how. So it
You
just
start
That's the
to
trust.
already.
Yeah. When those
you're
signs
already
come.
dissecting it. That's a portion of it where you're already foreseeing it being disastrous
because
before
it's
it's
already
even really
played
a
out.
thing.
It's already played out before. You've been here before. You've seen it happen. The end results may have been good. It may have not been. Right. So you don't really know. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
typically,
Yeah.
okay, but you don't know because you don't really know this person yet.
Yeah.
You're dating.
Yeah.
You're dating. So
Yeah.
this is the get to know stage.
When they call you and they're all
No.
interested and y'all on the phone all day, and then the one time that they don't call, well, what's
Right.
going on? Well, how are you gonna do this? Like, well, why you didn't call me on this day like you normally, So you start thinking like, okay, is he uninterested now? Did I do something? Did I not do something that I was supposed to do? Like,
Yes.
those are the things that, like start playing in your head when things just like, well, I'm used to this. Well, he was like this, but now he's not like that.
Yes. Or these are the first signs. Again, this is now a trauma. These are the first times of things going left. These are the first signs of disaster. These are the first signs of, distrust and, disrespect. And, it just goes, it starts to just, it goes
It's
beyond.
that rabbit hole. We start going through a rabbit hole. What about you, friend?
I'm like, I'm gonna just listen to y'all.
I was
I mean,
As far as trust issues,
Yeah.
well, y'all know that. We working on me. And like, I used to be the person who give everybody an A+. Now it's not a good thing, but everybody gets an F-. Like, you have to prove to me that you're a person that I can trust. I just don't come in trusting you because people have already told me that they're untrustworthy. But I know that that's a thing that like hinders you from being a little more vulnerable when you should. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not advocating for me to just open up and be soft to everybody like that. But at the same time, if you're showing me that I should be, then I don't have a problem with it at all. You know what I mean? So hypervigilance and numbness, like you basically either too alert for it or you are emotionally detached from it completely. I'm hyper alert and detached. I'm both.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say the same thing.
I am because in my mind it's like, and it's like you can see it in other people. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm very transparent, and so when you don't take what I'm saying to you as the gospel, I don't feel like you hear me, so I don't take you serious because I don't think you take me serious. You know what I mean? Like you're not listening to me to see what makes me feel good, what makes me I will trust you if you do this. You know, it's like you don't say it like that, like the blueprint. But if we having a authentic conversation and you trying to get to know me, it can level that out. So where I'm not just numb to it, detached from it, but I'm not overly,
Well, does your numbness and your detachment, again, it comes from past traumas.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
We are here because we have past traumas.
So
that's how we even got to this conversation.
We got bricks in our
strength of dating, right?
Yes.
And the only reason why I brought these up is like self-sabotaging. You will sabotage some shit like, why did I say that? That was the stupidest shit stuff ever. You know, but you realize the pattern. Like, let me go ahead and say this to protect me before anything else happens. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
I'm gonna just go ahead and push you away because I don't want to allow you to do that thing that somebody else had already did. And like you said, ooh, that was a pink flag. Was that a pink flag or was it an orange flag? I mean, I don't know. It was a flag bearer, so you know,
it was a flag on the plate.
It was a flag, and we're gonna go ahead and end this game.
Yes.
What about, we already said avoidance.
Yeah.
You might avoid dating altogether.
Yeah.
I did that for a very long time. Didn't know that I was even doing that.
That you were avoiding dating? You were just like...
Yeah. You know, like people date intentionally.
Yeah.
I never went out to date anybody. I went out to have a good time. That was it. And once I thought about me getting to a place of wanting to date, it made me reflect on when was the last time I wanted to date.
Okay.
And when did it stop? And why did it stop?
Oh, okay. So that's you taking your own
that
blueprint,
journey
like,
down reflection road.
Yeah. Okay.
And I went exactly to the pinpoint of exactly what it was, because what it was a real thing, and I shut it down.
But there's a lot of things that will detour you from dating. You know, it's like, you know, you think this is what you might want to do.
ASAP.
Right. And
It's
then
called a phone call. You be like, yes, let me get outside. You get a phone call like, man, look, I'm going to chill.
Right. But then now, what has dating really become? So I think that has also effects on our traumas too, because it's like we don't date the way that we used to, you know.
Okay.
Like we don't meet people how we used to. Well, we're older, so we do. We typically, you know, if you're going to go out, you're going to meet somebody, you know. But now it's social media, you know. We're here in Las Vegas, but we could be dating somebody in Singapore. Just
That's what
that
they
fast.
Yeah.
That's what they had said.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of people are doing that and are comfortable with doing that because that's the new, that's another way of avoidance. That's another way of avoiding people knowing who you are.
Yeah, because you can just turn it on, turn it off.
Yeah, and
like
I
you
don't
can
like
just
that.
be in your,
And I don't
you
like
can
that.
be in your own
I
home.
don't like that because you're eventually going to show yourself, bro. You can only keep a mask on for so long. And then we get to this place where we're like, dang, they changed. They didn't change. This is who they've been. But you had the rose-colored glasses on, so everything looked like peaches and cream. You feel me?
Yes.
And now all of a sudden you got emotional triggers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Triggered.
Yeah.
And so
that ain't no lie.
situations, I smell.
So-
You can smell the rain and be like, I remember he was outside singing.
Remember that time?
He was outside singing Ray J.
If I had
Y'all
trust me and I trust you. That's what they said. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about some ways that trauma shows up in your dating life.
Okay.
Has trauma showed up in y'all's dating life? Let me know. So, I knew you would like this one, friend. Autonomous thinking.
The autonomous
Dictonomous thinking.
girl. Listen, because I started later on in life, heck yeah, I felt like, okay, this is what y'all was talking about.
What are you talking about, bro?
The autonomous when I was my autonomous times. Okay.
No. Dictonomous is a division of
Oh,
two.
no. See, I was
You're thinking in two parts or halves of pairs, right? and you start to look at things like either white or black or this or that, you know.
Okay.
Relationship sabotage. We already said that one. And then what about the one they said on my main website, Psychology Today, on the go, and then I put / be a hoe.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people sex their way through trauma.
They do.
Yes.
A lot, girl. Yes.
Mama issues, daddy
Girl,
issues.
any issues that, just like food, right? It's a gratification that comes with it.
Yes.
Like that is like a really big thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think sex is the major thing that keeps people in traumatized situationships.
Oh, situationship. Because it's some form of connection.
It
and
is.
It's a short amount of gratification.
Yes.
But then you still feeling empty and lonely in a room full of people.
Yes.
Wow. What about thriving through chaos?
I think I thrive through chaos all the
Yeah,
time.
very
I feel
well.
like it just, to me, I don't know why my brain processes like that. I just feel like when I know I have something to do and it's like at the very last minute, that gives me the oomph to get it done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like wait until because I'm a go time, but I had 3 months before it was time for me to go, and I was just like, you know. And then as soon
I do
as
it too.
you know, so I for sure do that.
I think I never looked at it as thriving under pressure. I looked at it, thriving in chaos. I looked at it as working well under pressure,
Okay.
even though you shouldn't have to. Yeah. What about losing hope in the future? Like it's just a wrap.
No.
No.
No, I've never lost, I've always believed in love. That's the first thing, So you got to know that there is hope, but after a while, it just gets a little draining, but again, guess what we're doing? We are returning to our traumas. So of course it's draining. Of course it's not what we're looking for.
Life is hard anyway, so
yeah.
what's the difference?
What's the difference? Of
You
course.
All right, and keep pushing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes we be petty. Sometimes it's like the littlest things that, really shouldn't make a difference. And here they are, they make a big, and it's because of the trauma.
The smallest
stuff
thing,
shouldn't
like
even matter.
being jumpy,
Yes.
right? A man go to touch you and you jump. Like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
and it evoked it like such an emotional response to me. I'm not talking about the one where you touch me and it's like, ooh, that type of time. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about that one.
No. I get
I'm talking
you.
about like, you flinch.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I told my husband something and I was like transparent with them. I cuss a lot, but I don't cuss at people. Like I'm not going to call you like a nothing, boop, boop, boop. I don't do things like that, right?
Well, I've been watching The Crown. No.
But it was like I told him when he cusses at me, I get scared. It makes it seems like your aggression towards me. And he said, you've never put it in that way. Right? So for him, he's like, he's like, you cuss all the, I didn't know that was a trigger. It was from trauma. It is a trauma response when a man speaks loud or have like, volume in his voice. And rather if I hear any cuss words, I shut down.
That's a hard boundary for me. I don't feel like you need to curse at me.
But it's
Don't
not
curse.
even like
for me.
yeah.
I'm saying.
And I'm saying like, it's not like he's cursing at me. He's cursing. It's just
Period.
like this. Yes.
Okay.
Like it's again, like that's just you're cursing and you are talking, but I get scared. It's like just like a touch. Like we're having a
Yeah.
conversation and you're cussing and I'm like, but you don't cuss.
Physically there is a reaction, right? And I had to go find what some of those are. So sometimes you do like a upset stomach or trouble eating, like and I think I've said this on the show before where there was a complete stranger. She walked up to me and she put her hand on my stomach. Like instantly you would think and get offended because, somebody could think you pregnant if your stomach is always enlargated, you know what I'm saying, and full of pressure. Like nobody knows that you feel like that. They think you just a little chubby and overweight. You know what I mean? And this lady just walked up to me. She said, "You are not fat." I'm like, what? What's she talking about? Yeah. What?
Like, okay, well, thank you.
She said, "This is trauma." Once you start unlocking the trauma, you will lose this stomach. And the way she touched, it wasn't like a baby in there. It was like her fingertips was like this. This trauma. I was like,
give me the chills.
okay. And she walked away. I couldn't even tell you really what she even looks like. Unless I see her and it's just like a feeling.
Yeah.
But like literally a complete stranger. I was at a party doing a 360 event.
Wow.
Yep. What about headaches? You don't keep up with your exercise and diet. Safe sex. You're smoking more, drinking more, using drugs, eating poorly, having ongoing medical problems, and they're getting worse. The pounding heart, the rapid heart, the feeling of the shakiness, that's like, I feel like that happens so much, and we've gotten accustomed to say like, ooh, my nerves is bad, like my anxiety is high. That shit's not healthy, bro.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Your heart is doing something. So, yeah, that one is serious. The emotional troubles that you feel is nervousness, helplessness, fearfulness, shocked, numb, irritable, angry outbursts, blaming yourself, and having negative views on yourself and the world. I just feel like let's talk about this, the world thing. Being withdrawn and feeling rejected. All right, so let's really make sure we tap into any of these physically or emotionally that you think that have affected you the most.
Okay. What affected me?
All right, physically. Out of the ones that I said, sweating, severe headache, like you're in trauma when it comes down to dating. What is something that you think affected you the most?
I think, I can say a little bit of everything because everything plays into when you're getting to know somebody, when you're dating. You know, your anxiety's high. You want to, you're unsure of yourself. You're unsure of what you're bringing to the table. It's a lot that plays in. So I feel like it's a lot. And then on top of what's going on in the world, okay, so now we're thinking of other aspects that really shouldn't be involved in the dating phase, but they become a part of the dating phase because of what's happening around us, the economy, the housing crisis, jobs, all these things. So all these things now start to play a triple effect, or have a ripple effect in the dating.
I think so.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. And on a simple strength of that, like, you've created this way about you, right? That you didn't even know you created about you because it's a protective state,
Yes.
right? So not trying to date, like when people would try to talk to me, they would say, oh my God, like you're so difficult. And I'm standing there like, I'm not yelling. I'm not saying nothing disrespectful because I wouldn't disrespect you, but you think I'm difficult. But then when I looked up difficult, the definition, it was uneasy. And it all made sense. And I was like, on the contrary, I am difficult and I'm going to continue to be that way. But on another level, it's like, I don't want to be difficult in a situation that I want to pursue.
Okay.
You don't want to be difficult in that space. You know what I'm saying?
It should be easy because that person created a space. I feel like nobody talks about the why people are difficult. It's not just because they want to be. It's certain things that they see that is like, I'm not easy. I'm not easy to be led. I'm not easy to be swayed. I'm not easy to be any of those things. I'm not easy. And if that is difficult, then that's okay. Just know that don't choose. I'm not that person for you. Because a lot of people want to make, and that's the acceptance part, that I want to choose you as the vessel to be able to do all of the things that I feel that you should do for me. Right?
Yeah.
You are the vessel to do the things that I need from you. But we all have our own things and our own traumas to say, hey, well, that's not who I am. And sometimes men and women just want the shell of the person to fit a mold that they've already envisioned that they're supposed to have, and not necessarily look at the person that they actually chose. Right? I feel like a lot of young ladies, or when I was dating, right, I wanted that vessel to have this and to make and look like this and to be able to take care of this. Like, these are all things. Now, was that person that I chose was able to do that even at the age that we were trying to get the stuff done? That was unrealistic of me, but that created a whole other traumas for being disappointed on some things that we could have just collaborated instead of having those expectations.
Right.
And I also think, just to add to that real quick, we are so focused, of course, when we come into dating, we are focused on, us. And when I say
Line up with the
when
mic
I say
frame.
us, I say, we, instead of focusing on the we, you focused on you, okay, and trying to not repeat of what has happened, your past traumas. Okay. I'm focusing on me. Guess what? That's not the focus. The focus should be we. What are we gonna do to bring all these to the forefront?
Yeah.
So that we can move forward and build.
Yeah.
Or maybe give each other a chance, or maybe not.
Yeah. But I feel like once we learn about our alignments,
Yes.
and the things like, I need to be going somewhere, you need to be going somewhere, we got to be able to collaborate the things that why we want to go somewhere. Like, why do we want to choose to go together?
Yes.
Right? Because again, just because it's this new Netflix series, and it was really cute. I really loved how they showed young kids dating, and then the parents involved with the dating and a whole bunch of other stuff. But what I learned from that was just the dope part of being able to see going through the conflicts, navigating the different challenges that was happening, but still wanting to be forever with that person. Right. And just like, well, this was my decision. What's aligning? This is my decision. This is before I even wanted to talk to a guy. I wanted to go to Howard. I wanted, like, in the series, these are the things that she didn't want to, like, this was my experience. And even though I really love you, I still want to have my experience, whatever that looks like. And if I'm scared that because you're not around me, that you're scared that I'm doing other things, I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to be able to enjoy college. Right? It was a really dope experience to see, like, the dating and to be able to see, because that's how we all grow up.
Yes.
Right? So sometimes when we align with people that ain't going nowhere, we don't go nowhere either.
Well, that's typically how it
Right?
works.
Be like, well, we're here. We're gonna say,
Yeah.
let's get to some healing strategy.
Yeah.
All right.
Because, baby, like, you have to look at other ways to heal for other reasons of your life.
Yeah.
Not just dating, but to be able to take some patience and do some self-awareness. Of course, we always say, if you need therapy is cool. It ain't for fools, right?
Oh, shut up. I like that.
Self-awareness. That's what they used to say back in the day.
I ain't never heard that. I was like,
It gives you, a better definition of self-awareness, and it allows you to, on a healthy level, build supportive relationships.
Okay.
You can have all these relationships, but allow yourself to try to break some of them patterns, especially if you see it for yourself. Somebody could probably be telling you the same thing for 17 years, and you just like, this person is full of shit stuff, and you look at the situation and be like, maybe I see something. Doesn't matter what they've been telling me. Now you need to see it for yourself. So the first one is prioritize your self-healing. Make that a priority.
It needs to be number one. It
It's
needs
gotta
to
be
be
number
number one.
Yes.
We kept thinking that, like the kids, the spouse, all that. No, you have to do yourself. You have to make sure that yourself is good. Your cup has to be full before you can pour anybody else's. Your cup has to be full.
Yes, and that's the thing. You and we, as especially women, we have to focus on us, because when we become a better you,
Right? For
Okay.
sure.
we become a better for everybody, a
Yeah.
better mom, a better partner, a better whatever it is that we are trying to be. When we focus and become a better us, for
Yes,
us from
yes.
within.
Hell yeah.
I definitely think that you, when you feel better, you do better.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? So of course, it would make sense that for it to purposely put us in a position not to feel better, so we don't do better. You know what I mean? But taking the time to look at you and be real with you. You're the only one who can tell yourself the truth, because those one thoughts that's in your mind that nobody else can hear, them the one you got to talk to.
Oh yeah.
Those are the ones that you need to say, what's up? How we going to deal with this? Because can't nobody hear those thoughts. Some of them we let out, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of them, they be in your head and you be like, shh, here this come, or you block it out. Like, I ain't going to think about that or whatever. This one comes up quite often. Setting boundaries.
Man,
That's major.
I think, and even though
That
we had
is
a show
major.
about boundaries, I really feel people need to learn. Like, we have to. I maybe I can just look on TikTok and see like somebody really saying what, like, that whole boundary thing is wild to me. Not saying that, like, how do you know what your boundaries are? Because I feel like there's no bounds, you know, like there's no bounds. I don't know. Like, I don't
Until you don't feel like there's no bounds, you're never going to know what your boundaries are.
know. See, and that's where
So you can't look at any video. We can't do anything and do anything until you look at you.
but how, but okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? So
No, I need help.
establishing clear emotional and physical boundaries protect yourself.
That makes
To create a sense of safety for you. What makes you feel safe?
Okay.
What won't make you feel safe? You know what I'm saying? If you know this thing here, I don't feel safe in that.
Yeah. I'm not going to
You need to set a boundary to not let that in, right?
Okay.
But if you feel safe in that, then that's something that you can be like, okay, I might have to put a little baby wall up, but we can see over it. You know what I mean? This is the biggest one. Recognize your triggers. What are they? What sets you off? What's that one word that one person said that one time that made all the stuff go bad?
like that it talked to whatever was in your brain.
Do y'all
And
have
they
one?
said
Do y'all have
something.
one?
Yes.
That's that one word. What's that one word? One word.
Oh, that no.
You got that one word that somebody said that made you feel like it's a trigger. I know mine. Hands down.
I don't know.
I'm gonna let you.
I guess I have to think about that a
I'm not
minute.
self-aware.
So why y'all think? I know mine's. It is tripping. It's tripping. Friend, you need this thing right up through your mouth.
Girl, you scared.
You keep going on the side of it.
Like,
I
boop,
keep, you know.
boop.
You lean it.
Told y'all this is my first time.
I was like, is she scared?
And
Is she
it's all
scared to
right.
be on the mic? Girl, put
It's
it
my
on
first
the mic.
time. You know what to do.
My word is tripping. I don't know if it's as bad as it used to be, but tripping. I'd be like, oh, don't you tell me I'm tripping and I'm standing up. When I used to say that, you know I'm triggered.
Oh,
Because I'm standing up. I
ain't.
ain't tripped over nothing. So, yeah, you got to recognize what those is.
Good, because I'm like,
Because you got to be able to find some coping strategies in case somebody does or says whatever the trigger is.
I think lately, someone told me I had narcissist behavior.
Get out of here.
And for whatever reason, that triggered me, right? So of course, right? Because I'm like, no, that's not me. That's you. Those are your behaviors.
Yeah.
Those are what you're doing, right? So when I go look up the word, you better go look in the mirror because you are carrying some of those traits.
Yeah.
You are doing those things, but it was just so quick how it triggered me, just like instantly, like how
Don't
dare
call
you?
me that.
Yeah, but guess what? Girl, that's what you are at times. And some people don't want to accept who and what they are at times.
Yeah.
That's not who you are all the time.
yeah.
But sometimes that's who people present or make you be. So
Say it again.
That's who
That's
people
they what?
they make you become
Make
that way.
You become. That's why you have traits of it. That's
Yes.
not who you are.
That's not who I am.
That's not who you
But
are.
it triggered me. And it probably will continue because, again, I probably still carry some of those traits. So when you start to recognize, when you look up definitions and you start to recognize that, instead of me pointing the finger, I better point the finger back here and fix this first before I say this is what you are. So, but it was just something. And again, like it happened like 3 times in a week, and it was just like instantly. No, I ain't. That ain't me. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta definitely take a look at yourself and be real. Like, is it me? Am I doing these things?
Right.
In reality, there's probably traits of all kinds of stuff that's in us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I hate to say it like that, but like we've been laced with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nobody wants their truths exposed.
Now, I don't mind that, right?
Yeah.
But make sure, first of all, you coming from a place of care and compassion.
Right.
And then second of all,
Make sure you have your
make
facts right.
sure your facts are straight.
Right. Like, nah.
Before you
Because you may think you know,
Yeah.
but you have no idea.
Yeah.
Man.
You know?
Yeah.
And what you may think you know from me of the past is definitely not who I am now. And you can't hold me today. You're not
Yes.
a judge, you're not a court, you're not the jury. You feel me? So
Right.
you can
And you ain't
prosecute your dang on
you.
self. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
So yeah, that's real.
Period.
Choose more supportive people to be around.
You have to. You have
Yes.
to. Because those are the things that make you have those traumas and let you sit in it. And not let you grow from it. And not let you say, like, hey, bro, you only gonna talk to me one more time about this one set thing, one more again. You know, like that, when you have people that hold you accountable, that helps you in your trauma, that's how you know those are the people that's there to rock with you. It's okay to be uncomfortable, right? It's okay for you to be able to learn how to go through those things. But your people.
Yeah. And those that know and have a sense, they might not know right on top, but they know you're going through something because they know you.
And
they
them the
know-
people you push away.
And those are the people that you push away. But those are the people that keep coming. Wait a minute. Because you don't want the people that know you, but then at the same time, the people that you push away be the same ones that keep coming. And those are the ones that are going to stand. Because they're going to stand with you regardless.
Let's give a huge shout out to those that even though you push them away, they still
Keep
stand 10 toes down because they care about you. They love you. They appreciate you being in your wellest state of mind.
Yes.
Right? State of mind is and having it
Your
within wellness
A wellish state of
is
mind.
a whole different
That's dope.
ball game. And it's like, don't rush yourself to try to fill away, but don't also push the people that are closest away to you that you know is going to give you a supportive and a safe space. So
And those are the
With-
people that
with
you need
that-
to complete you.
with that being said, all of my people who are out there who have been through something traumatic, I keep rubbing my tassel if y'all that has been through something traumatic. My heart goes out to you because I know there are levels of traumatic situations that, you know, take top tier in who we are to this very day. And if you are another person who are trying to date, all the love goes out to you. Because baby, it's a lot of work you're doing. And I think if nobody else sees the work that you're doing to try to be able to date in a more healthy place, I definitely salute you. And until next week, we'll see y'all on that later. Love you.
Love you.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot 702.5fm.com.